I watched Trucker John, but I forgot to brush my teeth because I've been watching so much Trucker John show. Hey, I just want to tell everyone, make sure you watch the Trucker John channel on YouTube. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, he goes live. Have you heard about this Trucker John? He's on YouTube. He's got the Trucker John live stream going on, and you know what, man? I think it's pretty cool. You know, it's pretty cool. The Trucker John channel on YouTube is what we watch. Yes, you must watch this show. It's every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. in the Pacific time. I suggest you watch it. You don't want to defy me. Believe me. Oh my gosh! Trucker John's gonna be coming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. By golly, that's at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah, it's a Trucker John. Yeah, oh my goodness gracious, yes sir. I'm gonna watch that Trucker John. Yeah, hey, maybe you should be checking out the Trucker John show over there on the YouTube. He goes live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Trucker John is so funny. Yeah, he does live stream Tuesday, Thursday, 9 a.m.
Hey, ooh, I don't know about this one. Just watch the Trucker John show live stream. I'm just, yeah, I don't know about this one. Hello there. I'm here to talk to you about the Trucker John channel. It's on YouTube, and he likes to do these live streams. I don't know what's gotten into him, but I got a funny hat. I got a funny hat. A funny hat. I'm afraid this is what happens when you get a flat tire and you're waiting for the service truck to come out and fix your tire. You go on Snapchat and you can do all these filters and all these funny voices, and you know, it's just what you do, I guess. Yeah, I watch the Trucker John channel quite frequently, but I really don't want anyone to know that I do that. Trucker John, he's going to be going live at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So hey, there we are. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hey, thanks everybody for being here. I have to look at my watch. This is March 9th. It's about 59 degrees here in Las Vegas. And today we're at a concert. I don't know why, I just decided that this is a little still shot from the Ed Sheeran concert. I guess because I'm wearing the Ed Sheeran t-shirt today. So, concert I went to a few months ago. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. We got lots of people in the chat. We got to do a cool down from that show. If you guys are coming over here from the House Park show, we definitely need to cool down after that, because if you don't cool down properly, you just might pull a hammy, and you don't want to pull a hammy. So we got to cool down. But it looks like we got Harry KP. It looks like it was the first one in the chat. Is relaxed. He screamed, "I'm relaxed!" Bonnie Thompson's here. Hey, Bonnie, good to see you. Fred Bear says, missed it. I'm not sure what you missed, but it's so close. You were so close there. Mr. Spock says, hey, everybody. How's the trucking going? Well, the trucking, I haven't been trucking for full disclosure. It's been like a year now since I've trucked. But I've been Ubering, is what I've been doing for about a year. We got Jolie's here. Hey, Jolie, thank you so much for being here. I know you got a lot of stuff on your plate right now, so I appreciate you being here. Harry KP, finally some real people. It's all about the real people. We're just keeping it real. We're just gonna keep it real, man. Fred Bear says, haha, cool stuff. Let's see, we got the hi. I always do that. Good Vibes Tribe says, hey John, hey everybody. Hey, well, hey back at you. Good to see Good Vibes Tribe back here in the chat. Mr. Spock says, Wiley E got me good this morning. It was funny, the big pecker. There's Mr. Spock going at it with Wiley E. Live long and prosper, by the way. I'm trying to get that Spock thing down. Does the thumb go in or out? Probably doesn't matter. And also, does my pinky finger have to be close to the ring finger? Whatever. Let's see. MJ Daniels here. Hello, everybody. Save the kidney. Save the kidney, whatever you do. Yeah, let's properly cool down so we save our kidneys. Let's see. We got Good Vibe Tribe. I only caught part of Hal this morning. Errands. Well, you do what you can do. So you might not need as much as a cool down. Is that what you're saying? Bunny Thompson says, chickens are small dinosaurs. Don't trust them. Don't turn your back on them. Good advice. That's good advice right there. Let's see. Mr. Spock, cut my wrist bad laughing out loud. That doesn't sound like a laughing matter to me. Hope you're all right. Fred Bear says, wasn't sure you were coming on or just showing rerun. Oh, no. It's not. We're live. We're live. I was just waiting for Hal because he went, about 20 minutes long into his show, after a show, which is fine. It's fine, Let's see. Good Vibe Tribe. It joins the index, I believe. It joins the index. So, okay, I'm trying to do it. I'm so bad at this. I can't do it. And then, so then it would be like this, but except that I made it worse. Okay, so I can almost do that. I don't know. It really takes a lot of coordination, apparently. Okay, so Big Hook's here. What is your background? Okay, you must have come late because I've already explained it, but I would explain it again. This was an Ed Sheeran concert at Allegiant Stadium from, was it October? I guess it was last fall, October or November, that I went to that, and it just random. I just randomly chose it, and also I randomly This is the shirt that I got from the concert. So it's kind of a theme, I guess, or you know. But yeah, that's the stage for Ed Sheeran and his stuff around it. And that was inside Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. Las Vegas. But yeah, that's what that is there, Big Hook. Mrs. Spock says, thumbs close to hand, no gap. Okay, well, I'm going to keep working on that. And one of these days, I will be able to just flash out the old Spock thing without my fingers all being separated like that. Okay, so let's see. Good Vibe Tribes. Yeah, I might need to go back and rewatch Laughing Out Loud. I can do that later. Ask is here. Hey all, back at you. Good to see Ask here in the chat room. Mr. Spock, actually, I don't know the proper way. Fascinating. Maybe that's what. Who was it that said I'll have to go back and watch? Maybe I have to go back and watch some Star Trek episodes. Say how here. Holy fucking shit! It's at Trucker John. That's right. Hal can run as late as he wants. That's true. You're so true. That's right. You're correct. You are correct. You are correct, sir. Goodbye, tribes. I like Shed Erin. You know, I have a tendency to just sort of transpose things. Apparently, Shed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran. I really did like that concert. I thought it was really good. I became kind of a fan after that. I wasn't really a big fan, or not. I had nothing really against Ed Sheeran, but I wasn't like a fan of Ed Sheeran. I'm not sure if I am a fan now, because people's fan is short for fanatic, and so if you ever say you're a fan of something, then there are some people that they expect you then. If you're a fan, that means you're a fanatic. And if you're a fanatic, that means that you have to know every little fucking micro fucking bit of information about whatever that said subject is. So I'm hesitant to ever say I'm a fan about something, because I'm really, technically, I guess I'm not a fan about anything. Even the Dodgers and the Rams, my two favorite teams, sports teams, that have been my favorite teams since I was a kid in the 60s. Those are the teams I follow. Those are the teams I like. I consider myself to be a fan. But then you'll get some a-hole who'll say, "Oh, you're a fan, huh? Fan means fanatic. So, who's the third stringer on the 1972 LA Dodger team? I don't know. Fuck you. So I'm hesitant. So now I'm hesitant. I'm gun shy to say I'm a fan, even about the Dodgers. For Christ's sake. Because of these a-holes that want to take things to so literal about everything. Let's see. We got Big Hook says, is Sheeran like a John Denver phenom? I don't know what you mean by that. Because John Denver is dead. And so... Are you asking if their style of music is similar? It's not. It's not anything like it. Ed Sheeran does a lot. He does a lot of styles. He has sort of these slow kind of ballads, and he does this kind of almost like a dance music, and then he can rock. He rocks out, man. Yeah, he does a little bit of everything. Big Hook says, hi ho, my Hoosier hoser. We know who you're talking about. Seyhouse says, that Spock hand gesture came from a Jewish blessing when the synagogue had its back to the preacher. Nimoy snuck a peek and stole the blessing for Spock's live long and prosper. Well, there you go. There's a bit of history, a bit of trivia, I guess we'd say. I guess we can. Fred Bear says, can we get some hot showgirl pics floating in background? My young son wanted me to ask, laughing out loud. Showgirl pics. You know what? I just may be able to accommodate that. I don't know if I can. I guess I can change the background. Okay, you asked for it. You asked for it. I'll try not to knock the camera over. But by golly, let's see here. I'm pretty sure. Now this might take some scrolling, and I know I'm probably blocking the camera with my hand right now, so you're probably just seeing my hand or whatever. Or I guess and this might be a little bit boring, but if you just bear with me, because I gotta scroll. I'm scrolling through my photos because I know I took a picture with these two. They have those. You know how like in Hollywood and of course in Vegas and probably other places where they have these characters run around, like people will dress up like a Spider-Man or Superman or whatever, and then they want you to take a picture with them, and then they want money, type of a deal. And so I did that with these two showgirls a couple of years ago. And I told this story on one of my previous live streams about that. I guess I could tell the story while I'm scrolling. So I was with my son, and at the time, it was his girlfriend. Now they're married now. And they had come up for a little Vegas visitation. And we were walking around the strip, and I was in a good mood, I guess. I don't know. I had a little extra cash in my pocket. So these two showgirls, they're coming up, and they're like, "Hey, you want take a picture with you? Take a picture?" I was like, so I'm like, "Okay, what the hell?" So I took this picture with them, and I knew they wanted money, and I figured it'd be like maybe like $20 each or something, 20 each, I guess. And so we take the picture, and then the one girl, she started getting like, "Okay, that'll be $100." And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, that's the going rate. That's what it is, $100." I'm like, "Fuck you," I mean, I'm like, and then I don't know. I remember exactly what she said, but I felt like she was going to start yelling for the police or something. The way she caught this attitude, So I just like, well, I go, "That's too much," and she's like, "Oh yeah, you got to pay," So I reached into my wallet. I had a bunch of $50 bills, and so I just gave her a 50. I go, "Hey, look, you and your friend split that. And that's all you're getting, and be lucky you're getting that." And then she like huffed and puffed off and and left. But so just beware if you are in any of these kind of touristy places where they have these characters, and they want you to take a picture. I mean, they're going to want money. We always, that's fine. I don't mind giving them a tip, but if they try to like, extort an exorbitant amount of money, just tell them to fuck off. But you got to be careful because I've heard stories where somebody will pose, say, with Hedgehog, the Sonic guy, whatever, and then and just before they click the picture, all the other character guys, they'll just jump in the picture, and then they all want money. And I've heard it. That's a story. It's anecdotal, whatever. So I don't know how, common that is or whatever. But someone told me that happened, and so and I've heard of stories about the characters getting in fistfights with each other, and I've heard of them getting in fistfights with people on the street. So you got to watch out for those folks. Like I said, I don't know how much of that is just anecdotal or whatever, but I've heard enough stories to think that they are a bit, crazy. Okay, so here's this picture. Let's see here. Will that work? There you go. Okay. Well, there's some showgirls. There's me. These are the two. It's the blonde one over here that tried to extort the $100 out of me. That's the one right there. That blondie. I don't know who this guy is over here. That might have been her bodyguard. No, I don't know. What's he got in his hand there? Bottle or something. But that's about as best as I can do. Now, there are some showgirls. These girls are very covered. There's now these girls going around. They're practically naked. All they have is a couple of little pasties and like a thong. I don't think I have any pictures. I think I caught them on video on one of my live streams. I don't think I have any still. I should go and take some because that would be like, pervy of me. But anyhow, all right. So we got. I missed the chat while I was doing all that. But Bonnie Thompson says the cat is sleeping. And she never cuddles. Well, that's cute. Good Vibes Tribe says the street vendors can be aggressive in Vegas. I haven't had any problems with the vendors who are like selling, hot dogs or burritos or tacos or whatever they sell. It's the ones I've had problems with. Well, I had this little issue with these two. And then years ago, and they still do it, I guess, but I don't really walk the strip like I used to. That didn't sound right. But I was, this was like 10, 12 years ago. Oh yeah, more than that probably. And I was walking with, I had my kids, and I was with my ex and my kids, and I guess my nephews were, because it was a family thing. This is probably like 2010, I think. Yeah, 2010. So that's been, 14 years ago. Anyhow, so we're walking on the strip, and there was a whole, I guess they still do it, but it doesn't seem to be as much anymore, where they would hand out these little cards, and it would have usually like a naked woman on it, and it was like for an escort service. Usually that's what they're passing out. And I just got sick of it after about the, I don't know, 10th one of them kind of getting in your face and trying to hand you these cards. I just went like, I'm not interested. And I hit the guy's hand, and all of his cards, he had a whole bunch of cards in there, and they all went flying all over the place, And I was like, fuck you or whatever. And I just kept going. And my kids and my nephews and everybody saw that. And I kind of felt bad because I don't like to be, I don't do like violence in front of my kids or whatever. But I remember my son and I think the nephews, they all thought that was cool for some reason. They go, "That was cool, Dad." And I'm like, no, I shouldn't have done that, So I gotta just keep going. And then I got really scared, actually, because these were all Mexican dudes. And I know I'm gonna sound super racist here, but these were all the dudes handing out those cards were these Mexican dudes. And they just barely could speak English, I think. And so then later on, we went into the Coca-Cola store. They have a Coca-Cola store, and it's got like 3 or 4 different stories, and it's kind of cool. It's got all the Coca-Cola merch and everything. And we're in there, and then my son and my nephew disappeared. You know how it is when kids, and they were like, at the time, what were they like? Let's see, that would have been about 13 years old. Probably 12 and a half, I think, my son, and my nephew a little bit younger. Like 11 or something. And so they disappeared. And how kids can disappear, and we were going through trying to find them through all the stories in the Coke store. And so in my mind, all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh shit, I pissed that dude off. He must be part of like the Mexican cartel. That's really what I was thinking. He must be part of a cartel or something, and they kidnapped my son because I knocked that cards out of. That was my thought process. And I'm like, oh my god. I'm frantic and I'm panicking. I'm going through all the different floors of this place. I'm like going through the merchandise. I'm like knocking people over. I'm going, Johnny. I'm yelling my son's name. It's like something you see in a movie when a parent loses their kids. That was me. And then finally we found them, and they were just like playing some game. They found a place where they could play a game or something. They had some video games, and they were like, what? When we found them, they're like, what? They're like, we're just playing some video games. And I'm like, fuck, you can't just take off like that, So anyhow, that's how my little, I guess, racist name. You want to call me a racist? I guess that's how my little racist brain thought came up with that. But anyhow, so hey, there's WW. WW is here. Fred Beer says, "Oh, $100 a pick. You've been had." But I didn't pay $100. I paid 50. So that was 25 a piece. Maybe, and even I thought that was high, actually. But she was ready to kind of like start yelling for backup if I didn't pay. But I was just like, here's $50, take it or leave it, you know. Let's see. Say how says, damn trucker in the 50s. I thought you just needed a rule of ones in Vegas. Well, I had a bunch of 50s. This is when I was still driving. When I was still driving, I had money. When I was driving a big truck. But those days are long gone. Let's see here. They all deal in cash? I believe so. Good vibes. Big Hook says, public domain laws, I think, apply unless they have copyright license. I don't know what that's about. You talking about this picture? I don't know. I didn't, when I skipped the chat I missed part of the conversations. Bishop Spock said, Leonard Nimoy did a good job singing the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins. Oh. Okay. WW says, in Times Square, at least the naked cowboy was clean. I think these girls are clean. Let's see. I'm just going to skip down because I'm really behind here. Ass says, you gave someone your phone? Yikes. I think it was my son who took the picture. I was there with my son and now daughter-in-law. I think one of them took the picture, actually. And I kind of trust them, you know, not to run off with my camera or my phone. Big Hook, her name was Lola. She was a showgirl. Thank you very much. La da dee dee dee. Barry Manilow is playing at the Westgate Hotel, formerly the Hilton International, formerly where Elvis Presley played. All those dates that he did back in the early 70s or mid 70s, whatever it was, and of course he died in the mid 70s. And now Barry Manilow was playing there, so that's how far that place has sunk. I'm sorry, there might be some Barry Manilow fans. I know I pick up as passengers Barry Manilow fans that go to that. They really love the show. The only song I really like, I think, is Mandy. I think that's the only song I really like of Barry Manilow's. Sorry, guys, not a big fan. Sorry. WW says, New Orleans too, maybe not legal, but nobody arrests them if they are standing in the doorway. Are we talking about these people that take the pictures? It's not illegal, but I do think they have to get business license, or if they don't have one, they could be cited for not having a business license, I think, or some type of a license. But don't quote me on that. Do not quote me on that. Let's see. The mic is on, right? Okay, mic is on. Okay, everything's on. We good. We cool? Are we cool? Fucko says, is the one on the right a showgirl or queen of the Oompa Loompas? Yeah, she was a little shorty, this one. Yeah, she was a little short thing. And this one here, this one over here was a tall girl. Tall blonde. I like tall blondes. That's probably why I was like, oh yeah, I'll take a picture with you. You know how us guys are. We think with our little head or whatever. Good Vibe Tribe said, I had a Michael Jackson wannabe try and fight on Fremont last spring. Oh, really? Yeah, some of those guys, I think they're just drug addicts who are like, I'm going to go make some money. You know? WW says, didn't exactly understand Good Vibes. I'm skipping down. Good Vibes says, I'm a 6'5", 235, and angry Michael Jackson wannabe is just an ATM machine for me. Mish is here. Hello, Mish. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on into the chat as we chat about things Vegas-y, I guess. We could have a Vegas theme today since we got the Vegas showgirls here. And this is right here. This is a walkway, I think was by Excalibur. I think it's the one that goes from like Excalibur over to the Tropicana, I believe, if I remember correctly, somewhere around there, somewhere in that intersection, MGM, New York, Excalibur, Tropicana. Foco says I'm out of here later. Okay, well, thanks for stopping by. You're probably already gone because I am behind in the chat. But if you do happen to watch a replay, just know that I said hello and goodbye. Fred Bear says, street people want your money for show. Hey, we got some Mish gifting some memberships. Thank you so much, Mish. That is so awesome. Thank you so much for gifting those. We got some folks here that are getting the memberships, so that's awesome. WW says, the bandstand was on a little lake and my mom went nuts. Now, I've skipped, so I don't know exactly what that's about, but I'm skipping down, guys. Looks like I am kind of caught up, though. So here's Tawada 106. Thanks for being here. Says, before my time, but an NYC Moondog. I don't know what that's about, but nevertheless, thank you for being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. We also have memberships and super chats and all that good stuff. WW says, you are supposed to bargain ahead of time. That's true. That is. I mean, you should make sure before you ever take a picture. You're absolutely right, W. It's like, okay, how much do you want? What do you ask for? And they can say, we want $100. And you can go, oh no, that's it. And then they'll say, okay, we'll do it for 50. And you can go, I'll give you 20 a piece. That's the way it should have. That's the way I should have handled it. Because in my mind, I thought, okay, I'll give these girls $20 a piece. I'm not even sure if I had 20s. I think I had just gone to I'd gone to an ATM machine and I just got like a bunch of 50s because there are ATMs that give 50s now, especially in Vegas. And I think I had just 50s. But in my mind, I was thinking $20 a piece. I ended up paying them 25 a piece. But you're absolutely right. You should, and I should have just said, okay, how much does this cost? And then you could negotiate it from there. That is absolutely correct. 100%, my friend. W says, now we can't tell each other apart as well. I'm not shere what that means. W says, no naked or nearly naked people advertising their strip joint. Is that the cards? Some of those are like naked. Tim Farrell says, hi gang, is that you, John, with the Chinese spy balloons? That is me in the middle right there. I mean, I haven't changed that much, have I, since this is about 2 years ago. I mean, I realize, father time or whatever, time keeps marching on, and I know I'm aging not too well, but that is me, and I don't think it looks too much different. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. I mean, not so much that you couldn't tell. But anyhow, Tim Farrell, thanks for being here. Jolie says, my nephew lost my daughter at a Walmart when she was about 2 years old. I didn't know until over the loudspeaker they announced, could Mama and Bubby please come to the fitting rooms? It's a scary thing. And when my kids were even smaller, we used to always lose my daughter. When she was like 3, 4 years old, 5 years old, she would take off. And really, when we found her, it would be like she was just inside, like how they have you're in a clothing store and they have the racks or something, and she'd be inside like behind the clothes or something, or she would be, I don't know. It seemed like it was always some place where, how did we miss her? But we even did the thing for a while where we had like a little leash that we put her on, But yeah, it's a scary thing. Towards what it says, not a fan of blondes. Nana Komatsu is my favorite. I don't know who that is, but I'm sure she's lovely. I'm sure she's very, very lovely. WW says, we were told to go to the service desk if we got lost in his store. Yeah. Karen Bass is here. Good morning, trucklers. Good morning to you. That's right. We are trucklers and proud of it. Sparklers are here. Trucklers are here. Now when you're here, you're a truckler. And we're all trucklers together. Foco says, I'm sorry, but the one on the right shouldn't be taking money for pics. She should be giving people money to help her maintain her delusion of thinking she looks like a showgirl. Okay, now I'm gone. Okay, fucko. Duly noted. She's a bit height challenged. I'll give you that. Good Vibes Tribe says, obviously don't take anything that is not yours. I'm saying if you are a street performer, being rude isn't smart. I agree. Doesn't make good business sense because you're just going to lose customers. WW says, me says, Jolie's so cute. WW says, no, these people, women and men, should stand in the doorway inviting people in. Okay, like the doorway of a strip club? Well, the thing is, the strip clubs are all over the place, and most of them are off the strip. Most of them are a few blocks off of the strip clubs. So they have to have, and those cards are, some of them might be for strip clubs, but a lot of them are for escort services. And that's a whole different thing. Let's see here. Jolie says, I always pointed out what the workers look like at any store we went into. WW told her to find the closest one and ask for help. She did exactly right. Well, that's good. Karen Bass says, no glasses. Oh, is that the difference? Yeah, well, yeah, I did not have a prescription, but I did have these glasses. I was wearing, these are just reading glasses, but I do have prescriptions glasses. These are my prescription glasses. But when I do this stuff here, it's just easier for me to use these old glasses. Because I didn't have a pair of prescription glasses at that time. And I could pretty much, that's how much in 2 years things have changed. I could pretty much walk around without needing glasses. But I would only need them to read small print and things like that. That's why I would carry these around with me. But now I pretty much have to wear those prescription glasses whenever certainly when I'm driving. And even just like walking around in a store, I need to have glasses. So Tim Farrell said glasses threw me off. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. W says sister took a leash to the Grand Canyon. That's a good idea. Because, they'll just go. W says, Big Hook says, Domo arigato, Mr. Tawada Mara Narabo Rabino Buba Ba Do Beep. WW says some people go for shorties. Yeah, but I can see that as a showgirl, showgirls kind of have a stereotypical where they're, long-legged, I guess, kind of tall, long legs, all that kind of stuff. So if she was going to try out to be an actual showgirl and like in a showgirl show, they probably would say, sorry, hun, you have to be now, you're not what we're looking for. Probably, I would think. Maybe. Who knows? WW says this was in New Orleans, Bourbon Street area. Oh, well, you were talking about the door and all that shit. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been there, so I don't know about that. Tawada 106 says Big Hook, and then all kinds of characters. My name comes from my cherished Lake Tawada. Am I saying that right? Tawada? Tawada. Mata. Oh, hello, Mata. Hello, Fada. Going to Lake Tawada. That was a stretch. Even by my standards. Let's see. Big Hook said, okay, now we're doing a bunch of, is that Japanese? I don't know. Gomenasai Tawada. Okay. Private conversation going on right there. WW says, I'd be disappointed if they didn't call my parents over the loudspeaker. Lots of times my parents were already there. Karen Bass says, I wear my hats. Truckler, sparkler, pothead. Yeah. Those three things just go together. Actually, we can play the game, which one of these things does not go together? Because I can tell you, I don't really smoke pot. I did have some pot a few months ago. And I did a live stream when I did it. That was the first pot or weed or whatever you want to call it. THC or cannabis or whatever. That's the first I had in over 30 years. That was the first time. And Hal doesn't partake in that. It never has. He never will. And then pothead. So out of those three things, the thing that doesn't uh, go together is pothead. But hey, I'm just saying for those three things. But that if that's what you do, that's more power. I know there's a lot of proponents for weed, and it helps people with their medical conditions and their whatever pain, physical pain, and dealing with if there's any kind of nausea with associated with certain types of medical treatments. Yeah, I'm all for it. But anyhow, good on you, Karen Bast. Sorry, that didn't come out right. WW says, my mom was a 5-foot powerhouse. I bet she was. And, you know. WW says, my sisters are tall, but 2 of my nieces are short. The other is 6 foot. Wow, that is very tall for a woman. Big Hook, your Japanese pronunciation was pretty good, John. Oh, thank you. I try. WW says, my new one, Konnichiwa. Or something. I don't know. WW says, my new one makes me sleepy. Blue Dream, 91%. For pain, of course. Like I say, yeah, if this stuff is helping you guys with your pain, then I think it's great. And I think it's because I think, you know, people have, you know, talked about pharmaceuticals and all the side effects of pharmaceuticals. And there doesn't seem to be as many side effects with CBD or whatever, you know, whatever it is. And, you know, so if that is helping provide relief from pain and you're not having a lot of these bad side effects that like a pharmaceutical drug would give you, then I'm all for it. Mish says, that's a coffee pothead for Texas Paul John. Wait, that's a coffee pothead for Texas Paul John. Okay, I don't know, but I'm drinking my coffee in my Las Vegas cup. I'm almost done. That's why I have to go way back. I think I got one more sip left in that cup. Karen Bass says pothead comes from Texas Paul. Oh, okay, that's what Mish was explaining. And his pot of coffee, he calls his chat room potheads. Oh, ding! Thank you for clarifying that and educating me on that. Now, I like Texas Paul. Don't get me wrong. I just don't watch him that often for whatever reason. I guess maybe our schedules don't align. So, but I've gone into his chat room and watched his live stream probably once. And then, of course, I've been seeing him over on Hal, and I've seen clips. You know, he puts clips out and stuff like that. So I didn't realize that that was the name. So thank you for educating me on that. So, but so they do all go together. Those things. It isn't like which one of these doesn't. You know that whole thing. They all definitely go together because those are all names of the people in the chats of those various live streams. So yeah, I like Texas Paul. Don't get me wrong. I just don't really watch him all that much. But I'm gonna rectify that because I think he's a good guy and I think he has a good message. Let's see here. Where was I at now? Is Andrea here? Hey, hello all. Thank you for the gifted sub. That was from was that Mish? Who did the gifts? Was it Karen? I got to scroll back now because I forget who did it, and I apologize for forgetting. That was Mish. Thank you so much, Mish, for doing that. We got Andrea over here, so thanks, Andrea, for being here, for checking us out. Now I'm trying to get back to where I was at. There's Tim and Andrea. Good Vibes Tribe says, I think that it's healthier than some of the alternatives. Yeah, that's kind of what I was. So, inarticulate, you know what I'm saying. I couldn't talk. I can't talk. I still can't talk. Why am I doing a live stream if I can't talk? That is the question. That is the question. Why am I doing this if I can't even talk? But apparently my Japanese is good. Here. Oh, batten down the hatches. I hope you got plenty of TP. Apparently that's vital. Have some water and some food on a supply of it. Batteries, it's good to have, I guess. And just batten down those hatches and ride it out. So I hope you be safe. Stay safe out there. WW says, my brother-in-law is Japanese. His family from the Northern Islands is all very tall. My niece is a beautiful mix. There you go. MJ Daniel says, Texas Paul got a little salty on Hal's show. I feel the same these days. Yeah, he said shit. He just couldn't. He just couldn't. Every time Texas Paul or Boston Brian or anybody goes on, I'm just sitting there and I'm just waiting and waiting because I know at some point they're going to slip up. They can't help themselves. That's what happens when you cuss a lot. And then you go on a forum or a medium that you're not supposed to cuss. You're going to cuss because you cuss a lot. See? So they're their own worst enemy when it comes to that. But I cuss, but I don't cuss like these. I apparently not like those guys do. Let's see here. Good Vibes Tribe says it also works as an early detection system for aggressive street performers. What, pot? That's what happens when I skip Good Vibes. I skip down. I think we're talking about somehow that is fitting into the marijuana discussion. Bonnie Thompson says, laughing at Tim Farrell. W says he is sometimes on during Hal. Yeah. I know. I just said that I'd seen him. Miss Brock said, potheads, pass. WW says, my dad was a preacher. He said shit, just not from the pulpit. Well, that's the thing. You got there's time and place for everything. I don't think the pulpit is probably not a place for that. But if you're at the house and you stub your toe or something, you say, oh shit, or whatever, that might be appropriate. Big Hook Picket, don't discount Thailand until you have tried it. Ancient culture which wasn't destroyed by the wars, great food, and the massages. I always have to look at that. Is that message or massage? It's massage. Are life-changing when you go to the professionals. Big Hook, I really think I'm going to try to take a vacation there. I mean, I've been talking about living there, to retiring there. But definitely, I would like to take a sort of like a few weeks and check it out and see if, because like I said, my main concerns, I think, is if I'm going to like the weather or not. And because I know they say it gets really hot there, and I'm just thinking it's like Florida. And if it's like Florida in the summer, then I don't want to live there because I hate Florida for more reasons than the weather. But the weather, I mean, I've been there in the summertime, and it's hot and sticky and gross. And that whole Gulf Coast is. I mean, when you get to Houston and Louisiana and and Mobile, Alabama, and whatever else is there, and then the Florida Panhandle, and down further into Florida, all that shit is fucking gross, and I don't like it. But if you live there, that's where you're from, I have people that come here to Vegas, and they can't stand Vegas. They can't stand the dryness of Vegas. They say their lips get chapped, their throats get dry, their hair gets all dried out. So they're acclimated to that weather. I'm acclimated. I've lived in the high desert here in the high desert my entire life since I was 3 years old. Okay, and basically Northridge, California is not much different than the high desert as far as it's a more damp down there. But anyhow, so for 60 years I've lived in this Mojave Desert. This is what I'm used to. This is what I like. This is where I like to be. So if I could go to Thailand for a vacation, but if I wanted to live there full time, and I know they have high season and low season, and I know that it's not so bad during. I guess the high season is when it's higher priced. That means the weather is better, right? It's more like that's when the temperatures aren't so bad, and that would probably be nice then. But when you get into their summer, it might be really bad. But then, what am I going to do? I don't really do much anyhow, so I would just stay inside under my air conditioner, I guess. But anyhow, so yeah, but I would like to check it out. I would definitely like to check it out. Fred Bear says, we have a great choice of stream to deal with MAGA wackos now. Yeah, we do. We do. WW says, my holy father also pronounced that Donald Trump was an asshole and Dad was a Republican. Well, there you go. Harry KP says, maybe if we dress up in feathers, TJ, will make us better. Grr, laughing out loud. So if you dress up in feathers, will like us better. Oh. I like you just the way you are, man. You don't have to do that, Harry. Hedge Enemy. Hey, Hedge Enemy says, I think it's fucking stupid. Okay, now, Hedge Enemy, I don't know, like, I've been skipping around. I'm not sure what you're talking about. That's stupid. So if you want to re-enter something, let me know what you're talking about, because I would like to know what is so fucking stupid. I've skipped down, right? WW says, Benny Loco said, shit, like 3 times on the air. Yeah, and that was ridiculous. Good Vibes Tribe says, religious wars will get people out of character also. Religious wars will get people out of character also. Okay. WW says, I think it was Lady B that finally booted her. Well, she was on Hal's show. Maybe Hal was subbing. Was that one of the ones that he was subbing for Lady B, I guess? Good Vibe says, yes, pot helps me avoid people, laughing out loud. Ass says, cuss. It is in the wording. It is in the wording. Okay. You guys, I'm a little slow. Like I said, I'll eventually understand what you're talking about. Mr. Spock says, got some new genetics this year. A big blue mother's skunker feminized, supposed to grow huge. Well, so is that a strain of weed? Of weed. I like to say weed. Did you guys ever watch that show, Weeds? Or Weed? Was it Weed or Weeds? You know, the one with, what's her name? Sarah Jessica, no, or whatever that chick's name is. Mary Tyler Moore, or whoever it was. Mr. Spock says, got some new genetics. Oh, I already read that one. W says, you figure those street performers are probably not always happy to be there. I hear of sticky mouth kids who want to kiss Elmo. Well, at least Elmo has a mask, a big mask thing. Fred Bear says, we got Trump using his foul mouth when he thinks it will get a rise. Yeah, and then his little maggots are all like, oh, yes, he's so real. He's so real, like he just said bullshit. Oh, man. It's like, fuck you. WW says, good luck, Mr. Spock. We are too cold to grow. Plus, I am not allowed to smoke, only vape. Which to me, I thought was kind of like the same thing, but maybe, apparently not. WW says, exactly Big Hook Carlin, as in George, I suppose. Barney Thomas says, I use the F word about 24 times a day. Blame the Republicans. Bonnie, you're cussing like a sailor over there, aren't you? Karen Bass, tourist season. WW says, Miami Beach is banning spring breakers. Really? I mean, I thought that was a big revenue thing. Ask says, Barney Thompson, I'm with you there, maybe more. Hedge Enemy, the swear ban. Oh, it's stupid. Well, it's broadcast. That's FCC. So that's the difference. WW says, strife makes even a holy man angry. There you go. Jeff Curry, what's up, bitches? Jeff Curry just coming in, man. Just coming in with the B word. What's that? If you want to be really cool and hip, you got to say biatches. Jeff Curry, the official comedian of the Trucker John live stream, by the way. Big Hook says, if you live in Thailand, you can't talk politics. It is very taboo and can get heavy fines. Bottled water is the only way, unless you are an alcoholic on an alcoholic binge tour. I may have been on an alcoholic binge tour about 30 years ago or 40 years ago, maybe. I would have done that, but not. I don't have to worry about that now. And I always drink bottled water, and so there. WW says, go to emotion, anger. Good Vibes Tribe says there are liberal hosts and comedians beefing now over the Palestine conflict. Yeah, I'm sure there are. I think they've been beefing over it for a long time now. Let's see here. Mary Louise Parker. Thank you, Ask. Ask is a great name because it's like if I just sort of ask for something, then Ask will get that information. Mary Louise Parker. So yeah, well, was it Weed or Weeds? I think it's Weed, right? It's just Weed. It was a good show. I saw every season of it. I don't know why I can't remember the name now. But anyhow, I like that show. WW says, Good Vibes Tribe. We are building a pier, and there are ships ready to dock in Gaza. The U.S. will protect their pier. I think it's a great thing. Of course, it won't be good enough for the naysayers. It never is. We did a bunch of airdrops, and then I hear reports that people were complaining, saying it was old, moldy food or something, which I really wanted to look into those claims a little deeper to see who was making those claims and if they were actually accurate, and make sure it wasn't just some Hamas person, pretending to be a regular citizen. But no matter what we do, there's always going to be these naysayers and complainers and whiners. They're just instigators. They're just trying to stir up shit. Joe Biden's doing a great job, man. He's trying everything he can to get a ceasefire. Meanwhile, he's getting in supplies. He's going to build the pier. What more can you ask from the guy? Let's see where I left off here. Hedge says, yeah, but it's extended to cable. They aren't covered by the FCC. The cable is on an honor system, basically. They're on an honor system. And that's why you will see that sometimes. I've seen Comedy Central, some of those roasts, if they play them after midnight or something, they'll say fuck and shit and everything else on Comedy Central, right? And even some of the cable news, they get away with an occasional shit or bullshit or whatever because they're on an honor system. And the system is, okay, you guys police yourselves. This is my understanding of how this went down decades ago when cable started becoming more mainstream, let's say. And I think the understanding was, okay, you guys police yourselves, but if it gets out of hand, where you're showing, pussy and dick or whatever, and you're saying fuck and God, well, I guess you can say goddamn, but you're saying fuck and bullshit all the time or whatever, then there's probably going to be some regulations coming down. So the cable sort of is on that kind of honor system where they're self-policing for cable. But over the air those are public airwaves, and so the FCC has control over that. And they have said that there are community standards, community bylines, or whatever, and that has to have to be lived up to. And that's the way it goes, people. You can say it's stupid all you want, but that's how it goes. Good Vibes Tribe says, W, I'm aware of all that. I'm saying people that were friends are no longer friends due to the conflict. Here stateside, that is. I don't know why I read it like that. You did have lots of punctuation and periods. I don't know why I read it as a run-on. So that was inappropriate of me. Let me reread it as written with the periods. I'm aware of all that. I'm saying people that were friends are no longer friends due to the conflict. Here, stateside, that is. And you are correct, sir. It's the whole thing. Even going back to MAGA and Trump. And I can attest to this, that don't even speak to each other since Trump became president and when he won in 2016. So even that, WW says, good vibes. I don't get angry over politics. I just get sad that people disagree that usually would be in accord. Well, people are going to have their opinions, and they're entitled to them. Hey, there's Adam Westish. Thanks for being here, Adam. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in the chat here. Ask says plural weeds. So was it weed or weeds? That doesn't help me. Andrea says love Jolie, or I guess is what that means. WW says, I am so against sending our advanced weapons to Europe without our military controlling them. We are sending them like our old shit. We're not sending them as far as I know, we're not sending them our currently best state-of-the-art shit. We're sending stuff that's kind of, been around a while, I believe. WW says, oligarchs, it boils down to who is in charge. It usually ends up being the money man. Follow the money. Follow the money. And Hal's chat, people were talking about it. That's the first I've seen of it. So I haven't really read any articles about it, but someone said that, it might have been you, Wes, that Chubb is owned by Russians or by Russia or something. Bonnie Thompson says, laughing also gross. I'm not sure what we're laughing about. Good Vibes Tribe says the insurance scam stuff at W. Mish looks like is about ready to puke. I don't know. Kevin Anderson says trucker is cool. Thank you. I hope you're talking about me. WW says yes. Good vibes. Russian insurance company, American division. Kevin Anderson says Mish. Good Vibes Tribe says yeah. I read some stuff about it. Bonnie Thompson chiming in here says Chubb Group has a HQ in Russia, of course. Big Hook says this stupid thinking they will starve out Hamas is just an excuse for Netanyahu to punish the Palestinians. It is going to be a guerrilla war from house to house, tower to tower after the tunnels. Yeah, look, I'm no fan of Netanyahu. Let's just get that perfectly out of the way. I would make that pretty. I've never been a fan of that asshole. And but having said that, I'm no fan of Hamas either. And I think Hamas needs to be eliminated. And I don't know if you can. Not to try to borrow Trump's words here. I'm not talking about like you have to kill every last Hamas soldier. That might not ever happen. But you need to get that power structure, the leadership, is where you need to go and either capture and kill those motherfuckers, or you make some sort of deal with them. You buy them out. I don't know. You negotiate something with them. But you need to cripple them so that they can't rise back up. But there's always going to be something. It seems like. Jeff Curry says, and the hungry dude is investor in Chubb. Coincidence? Mish says weeds. I know, because you said plural. But, so it is weeds. That's the name of the show, Weeds? I thought it was Weed. I watched like all 7 seasons, or whatever, however many it was, and you think it would be ingrained in my head, right? WW says, I still love MAGA family. They are mostly afraid of their way of life fading away. I still love my brother and my sister. I do. I love them. I haven't spoken to them in like 7 years, but I still love them. It's a two-way street, though. Communication's a two-way street, by the way. WW says, sent some new Abrams. They run best on jet fuel. The tanks are too heavy for eastern bridges and roads. Okay, so we sent him some Abrams. Big fucking whoop-de-doo. Bonnie Thompson says, my immediate family are all commies. Mish says, TJ, do you have all messages on? I do. But I was skipping down because I was behind in the chat. So I was sort of skipping down a little bit. So that's where I probably missed something. WW says, and so say all of us. WW says, I think so too, Big Hook. Fred Bear, Andrea is the real Iron Man on the female side of life. Much thanks to your effort. Yes, Andrea, thanks for all the modding. She's out there modding her little butt off. Bonnie Thompson says, we all seize the means of production, free potatoes and gruel daily. Yes. Yes. There you go. Andrea says, you're welcome, and Fred Bear. Andrea says, give at Jolie Mod love. Yes, and Jolie. Jolie is, you want to talk about Iron Man. She's an Iron Woman. WWE says, we don't want the people to escape the ships. That would put our military in danger. They're not going to escape to these ships. We're going to have Marines and we're going to have, military personnel. It's not going to be like the shit show that we've seen recently with the trucks coming in at these IDF checkpoints. And then the trucks get overrun and then they run over people and then the IDF shoots some people. And I don't think we're going to see it like that. I think the fucking U.S. military has its shit together. They know how to run these type of operations. I mean, that doesn't mean there might be some chaos, but I don't think it's going to be to the point where they're going to be jumping on the ships and trying to, that's not going to happen. I have faith in our military to run these type of operations, and to do it without having to shoot people like the IDF does. WW says, I think the ships will be from Cyprus. Big Hook says, Orban visited Trump with a diplomatic pouch. Who wants to bet Trump has a gift for Putin in exchange for money for his judgment losses? Yeah, he probably has, some more top secret documents or something? Kevin Anderson says, Jolie, you a good mod. You a good mod, Jolie. Jolie is the best, as far as I'm concerned. WW says, Yemen and the Persian Gulf. Yeah, what about him? You want me to talk about him? Is that what you're saying? Kevin Anderson said, Iron Woman, aka Rescue. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I do not know what that means. Oh, as I'm moving my thing back, so you're gonna see where the it's not reaching. But I need to go get a bottle of water because I'm getting so dry. I'll be right back. So while I'm gone, you guys can look at that picture. I'll be right back. In fact, you guys can probably hear me as I waddle along over here. I usually get the bottle of water ahead of time, but I forgot to keep it handy. I usually have it right here, beforehand, so I don't have to do that. But I didn't today. But I'm back, so I hope I didn't lose y'all. But it seems like the combination of talking and then drinking coffee, it kind of dehydrates me, or it makes my throat dry. All right, so that's done. That's gone. Now I'm switching over to water. Nice and cold right out of the fridge. All right, so we can continue on. What else we got going here? We got Big Hook says, hello, Modder, hello, fodder. Here I am at Camp Hiawatha. Hello, Modder, hello, fodder. I already made reference to that earlier in the live stream. W says, Iron Woman. Oh. Is that what Kevin Anderson was saying? Iron Woman, aka Rescue? I still don't know what that means. Anyhow, Kevin Anderson says, yes, WW. WW says, good to see you enjoying yourself, Kevin. I have a nephew named Kevin. Well, there you go. The coincidences just keep coincidentaling. Fred Bear says, I don't like any country that will starve children to death. And Kevin says, I'm popular. Yeah, I don't either, Fred Bear. I don't like starving children to death either. And they're trying to get food in there. Even Israel's trying to get the trucks in there. They can't help it if the people overrun the trucks. Like crazy people. I understand they're starving to death, so I mean, they're desperate. They're desperate people do desperate things. But it's not Israel's fault that they were attacked by Hamas, even though people say, okay, Netanyahu knew about it and he let it happen. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But the fact remains the same that Hamas did do this. And so I can't blame Israel for trying to take out Hamas. If we were attacked like that, well, look what we did in 9/11. We went after bin Laden, and we started a whole war in two different countries over it. So, I think it's a bit hypocritical now to criticize Israel for defending itself. And a lot of people said that Bush knew about 9/11 too. Another coincidence, another sort of similarity, right? MJ Daniel says, as a Seattle Seahawks fan, I am kind of interested to see if Russell Wilson will end up playing for the Raiders. Interesting. I don't know. I kind of like the guy they had last year. He was that rookie or whatever. But if they bring in Russell, does he have anything left in the tank? He didn't look that good with the Broncos. No, I think when you're playing football, it's a very tough sport, especially at the NFL level. It doesn't get any tougher than that. And you get to a certain age, and you've got a certain amount of money in your bank account, and which Russell Wilson is at a certain age and has a lot of money in his bank account. I think even if it's just subconscious, you kind of lose a little bit of motivation. And in football, you need a lot of motivation to keep going, to keep taking those hits. Because it's a violent game. And you get hit hard. And, even if it's, like I say, even if it's just a subconscious thing, in the back of his mind, he knows he's got a lot of money. He doesn't really need to be doing this shit. And I'm sure a lot of times, even when I was playing just in college, and I'd be like, why the hell am I still doing this? Why am I doing it? It's basically in practice when you're splitting a gut from all the conditioning you're doing. That's usually when I'd be like, what the fuck am I out here for? Why am I keep doing this? And then I would tell myself, because you love the game, motherfucker. And then and that would get me going. Because that was for me. It wasn't about money because I wasn't making any money or anything like that. It was purely for the love of the game. And if you're a professional and you've played a lot of years, you've won a Super Bowl, you've won awards, you've won a lot of money, you've earned that money. But then it's like, why are you there? And you still have, if you don't have the love of the game anymore, then it's time to walk away. It really is. Because that's the only thing that keeps you going is the love of the game. If you're just there for the money, I understand that, especially when you're coming into the league and you're getting your contracts. Everyone wants a big money contract, and that's fine. It's professional. That's what you're there to make money, but you're also there. If you don't love the game, then you're not going to be there. The love of money is going to only get you so far, and it's not really the love of money; it's the need of money. We live in societies where we need money, right? But if you lose that love of the game, then it makes it very, very, very hard to keep going out, for practice day in and day out, and to the games week after week, and to take those hits that those guys take. You've gotta still have a love of the game. Otherwise, all the money in the world isn't going to really keep you there for much longer. It might keep you there for a little bit, but it's not going to sustain. Because after a point, you're like, I don't need this shit anymore. I don't need to keep getting hit like this anymore. I'm just going to retire, enjoy my wife and my family and my nice big house and my big bank account. So I don't know if Russell Wilson still has the love of the game. I guess that's the question. If he still has the love of the game, then he would probably be a very good addition to the Raiders if he could try to get some of that play, that ability that he's shown through his career. I mean, I don't think physically he's really lost anything. I think it's mental at this point. And it's understandable, Okay, so that was my little rant on Russell Wilson. And while I was doing that, you guys were chatting, I guess. So let's see. W says, wait till Steve gets here. All the girls will ignore us. Jeannie's here. Hey, Jeannie. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Always good to see you in the chat. Barney Thompson says, Kevin Anderson, are you? Really? Just don't get cocky, kid. I'm kidding. Don't get cocky, kid. It's like is that a Harrison Ford kind of reference? WW says, it had better be full faith and assurance. Kevin Anderson said, Fred Bear, where are your bandmates? W says, Hamas military from the sea. No, that's not a worry. They don't have a fucking navy. What are you talking about? MJ Daniel says, warfare is chaos, and there is little the Biden administration can do about it right now. Jeff Curry says, why does John have a picture with two of my ex-girlfriends? Oh, those are your ex-girlfriends? Which one did you like better, the short one or the tall one? Or was it equal? I don't know. WW says, they say that our border is chaos. They meaning you, because you are one of they. You're a Republican. Those are your Republican buddies, W. They want to talk about this chaos, but then they don't want to do anything about it, do they? Fred Bear, don't know what you mean, Kevin. W says he paid the ladies for the photo, Jeff. MJ Danielson, Wilson is gone from Denver. I hear he's visiting Steelers right now. I guess somebody will get him if he still wants to play and they think he still has, some fuel in the tank. Then he'll end up somewhere. WW says exactly. People think we don't earn our pensions. People do think that, I guess. Jeff Curry says, Wes, they must be running low on the cash. I paid them. MJ Daniel says, very competitive people have a hard time walking away. Yeah, that's the thing. That kind of goes into the love of the game. But yeah, there are people that are competitive and they just hang on because they can't envision their lives without being able to compete at the highest level. And it can be a really tough transition for these guys to retire. They've lost a step, they've lost some ability, and it's time to retire. Sometimes they hang on a little too long because of that competitive nature, and they need to find something else to replace that need, but it'll have to be in a different form, in a different way, But yeah, so there's that. Says Kelsey retired. Oh yeah, Kelsey retired. I was wondering about that a while ago. As I heard in his contract, he was coming up for I guess free agency or whatever. And I was actually thinking, I was wondering if he was going to try to go over to KC and play with his brother, And I was wondering, I was looking at how many years he played. I was thinking, I don't know how many years he has left, because I know he's playing center. And that's one of the toughest positions to play, I think, in football, for a variety of reasons. I think it's a really cerebral position because you basically have to know all of your linemen's assignments, and you have to be able to read the defense. And even though the play's been called, but you could be calling out, you could be changing assignments on the line of scrimmage to your linemen. There's a lot to it. And plus, you're getting hit every single play. In the lines, in the trenches. and so it's a tough position. And I was wondering how many years he had left in him there, and I was thinking, well, maybe he might have 2 or 3 years left in him, maybe. Apparently not. Apparently 0, because he decided to retire. And that's fine. I mean, when it's time to go, it's time to go, and it's an individual decision usually. So he had a great career. He's probably going to be a Hall of Famer. Let's see. W says, laughing out Jeff Curry. Me thinks they do a profitable business. Big Hook says, Netanyahu has provided spyware to dictators who need to control their people. Yeah, Netanyahu is a piece of shit. He is a corrupt, he's as corrupt as Trump, if not more so. And he definitely needs to go. He needs to be, he doesn't need to be in power. We don't need assholes like him leading countries, especially in the Middle East, especially Israel, Fred Bear says, Wilson didn't fit in at Denver. His style didn't match their game plan. That's the thing. If you're going to get a guy like Russell Wilson, you better put your offense around him. You better, not the other way around. WW says, get all excited. It's fun to get excited about something. Yeah, sure. Joey says, Trucker John now has channel memberships and super chats. You can also support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing, or buy John a coffee. And John is me. Yeah, thank you for that reminder, Jolie. Yeah, we have all those great things now that you guys can do. Everything you do helps the show, helps grow the show. So like, subscribe, share. Sharing is a good thing. Sharing is caring, as they say. That helps get the show out. MJ Daniel says $100 for a picture. That had better include a meal, or at least a handy. Okay. Anyhow, W says Iran. What did you run? W says it's a rush. They don't want to give up. Yeah, it can be it's a tough thing, but eventually they're not going to have a choice. I mean, your abilities go down so much. WW says I used to play center and got clobbered. Yeah, see, you know what I'm talking about, W. It's a tough position. I played mainly D-line, but I played O-line too, because you play both ways a lot of times. I played offensive line, usually tackle. I was usually offensive tackle, and I played defensive tackle, and I played some nose guard, a little bit of defensive end, a little bit of linebacker, but mainly defensive tackle. And I loved playing D-tackle. I loved it, man. It was my favorite thing. Favorite thing in the world that I've ever done is play defensive tackle. WW says, Israel is another country that spies on us. Wait, everybody spies on everybody. Everybody spies on everybody. Everybody spies on us, and we spy on everybody. That's the way it goes. That's the way it is. That's the way it's got to be. All right? Karen Bass says, I forgot the thumbs up. Got it now. Oh, Karen, thumbs up me. Don't forget to thumbs up me. We need those thumbs up. We got 26 watching, 49 thumbs ups. That's a pretty good ratio. Let's go. Let's get those thumbs up. Can we get to 50? Can we get to the big 5-0? I hear that when you get to 50 likes, that it's like, I don't know. It's like you shit rainbows or something. I don't know. And I'm not sure if that's what you want. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Let's see here. Karen Bass says, is Bobo here? I don't know. Where's Bobo? She might be busy, doing something with her hands. Talking about handy. I guess that's what you were talking about, huh? Is that the reference? You're referencing my reference? WW says, MJ Daniel, the girls will carry purses with clear windows where they display the amount of money they desire for their trade. I don't know where you're talking about, what you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about. I don't like these things where you just chirp in something that does not clearly describes what you're talking about. Big Hook says all countries want intel. It gives you advantages and leverages. And it's national security. WW says, my quarterback play arena football. I told you about him. I don't remember. If you told me, I don't remember. Who's your quarterback? What do you mean, my quarterback? Who's your fucking... You have a quarterback? Who has a quarterback? I don't have a quarterback. You got a quarterback? Karen Bass says, I play and all... You mean the quarterback on the high school team you played on? Played arena football? Because if he played when you played, he ain't playing now. Karen Bass says, I play an awesome spectator fan. There you go. Hey, everybody has their part to play. Hey, there's Lucius. Hey, what's going on? What's going on with you, Lucius? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share. Hey, look at that. We're up to 56. I just a minute ago said, can we get to 50? And you motherfuckers got us to 56. Just like that. You guys are awesome. I'm sorry I called you motherfuckers. I meant it in a loving way. A loving, kind, truckler way. But awesome. Now can we get to 60? Can we get to 60? Because I hear when you get 60, you actually poop Lucky Charms. I don't know. That was inappropriate of me. I should not have said that. Fred Bear says, I got to run. Thanks for that pick. I'm still smiling about it. Keep bringing the heat. Oh, yeah, we're bringing the heat. I'm glad you like the photo. I hope your son likes it. And it's not too inappropriate. If I had the one with where they're just wearing the pasties, that might have been a little risque, you know what I mean? But at least they're wearing little fur coats, so. There you go. You get a little side shot there. Here. You get a little bit of thigh over here. And you get a little bit of a thing there. I don't know. Hey, I'm just trying my best here, to accommodate the people. Accommodate the people, you know what I mean? We're going to accommodate the good people. But anyhow, thanks for being here, Fred Bear. I hope you come back. We're going to be back here on Tuesday morning. Now, looks like something got erased. I don't know what it was. Let's see here. WW says Vegas bars. What about the Vegas bars? Jeff Curry says, going to take Bobert to Shrek the musical in case my nuts start to itch. Yeah, you never know. That could be handy. Like I got one of those back scratcher things, You might, and so the other thing might come in handy too, Big Hook says, red light district in Netherlands, they used to do that. Oh, where they would stand in the window. See, now I can see that. That's like, what's the place where everyone goes to smoke hash and shit? They have a red light district. What's that place? Every fucking 18 to 22-year-old guy wants to go there at least one time in their life. And now I can't remember it was on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember the name of it now. Ask. I'm waiting for Ask. You know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, W says, I thought that they should hide their money. Big Hook says, red light district. Oh, yeah. W says, junior high. He's got Parkinson's. Okay, so he's not playing arena football now. At 60 years old, or 66 years old. Bonnie Thompson said, Bobert is gone in January. Good. I hope she's gone and lost and gone forever. And I hope that in her old district, I hope that Fritsch dude wins. The district she ran to, that she moved to, is probably going to be a Republican that's going to win that one. But the one that she left, I hope Frisch, the Democrat, wins. WW says, laughing out loud, Big Hook, it might have been Amsterdam. That's what I was trying to say. God damn it. Where I saw that, come to think of it. That is exactly where you saw it, W. It's exactly where you saw it. W says, I think in both places. What was the other place? Louisiana or something? New Orleans? I don't know. Hey, David A says, hey. Hey, back at you, David A. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for stopping by. David A says, you is funny, motherfucker. Please don't block me. Well, if you keep flattering me like that, why would I ever block you? You know what I mean? You just keep those compliments coming, big boy, and you're golden. That's how it works here, people. You don't want to get blocked, people. That's how it is, people. People. You don't want to get blocked, then you just look at this. Just unload the flattery on me. I'm easy. I'm easy that way. Jeff Curry says the Chicken Ranch. The Chicken Ranch is in Pahrump, which is about 55, 60 miles southwest of here. Don't ask me how I know that. WW says, hope so, Bonnie. About Bobo being gone. About Bobo being gone. Bobo going being gone. Yeah, I hope so too, W. Amsterdam, Don O'Leary. Yeah, that was the place. For some reason, senior moment. WW says he also did stunts in the movies. Well, good for him. I'm sad about the Parkinson's. I deeply, sincerely upset about that. But I'm also very think it's very cool that he was doing stunts in the movies. I would have liked to have been a stuntman at one time. I think I would have liked it. WW says Vegas. Okay, I don't know where you're talking about women with clear purses showing how much money they want in Vegas. I've never seen that. Maybe the places you hang out when you go to Vegas are different than the places that I hang out. But in fairness, I don't really hang out anywhere. I'm either here at this apartment or I'm in my car. And for basically the last year, I mean, I used to come here when I was driving. I was more on the strip more then than I am now. When I was a truck driver, and I would come home for a couple of days, and I would get a hotel, usually on the strip. I was on the strip more then than I have been for this last year. WW, I was alone. The girls thought that I was shopping. David A says, laughing out loud. Don O'Leary says, Jolie, hello. WW says, Jolie won't block you unless you try to peddle a porn site. That will get you blocked, probably, I would say. That's pretty safe bet. Karen Bass says, didn't they make a movie about the Chicken Ranch? Well, probably. I mean, if you're thinking about, what was it, The Best Little Whorehouse of Texas? That's a Texas one that they made a movie about, and a play. I don't know if that was called The Chicken Ranch or not one in Texas. David A says, I want Bobo and MTG gets gone. That would be nice to get all of them gone. I think Bobo, you might get that one. I think she's probably going to be out. MTG, unfortunately, is in a really, I think, ruby red district, and they're apparently very MAGA. I think she's pretty safe in her district, unfortunately. Now, Getz, I'm still waiting and holding out hope that he's going to get, tried and convicted for some type of, thing that he was doing with these. I think they were underage girls that he was drugging and taking them across state lines and having sex with them. That should get him gone. So we're still hoping for that to happen. So I think out of those three, I think you got a really good shot of Bobo not being around. But MTG is probably going to be around. But then Getz, I think I don't know where we're at. Are we 50-50? Is it sort of a 50-50 thing that is going to catch up to him and get him out? I would say we're at least at 50-50 on that. So 2 out of those 3, I think, have at least a 50-50 shot of being out. And I think Bobo is about almost a for sure thing. So for Getz, I think it's probably maybe a 50-50 thing. And for MTG, I think we're stuck with her. It's in her district, keep voting for her. WW says Booby is running in red district this time. If she wins the primary, she is a shoo-in. Oh, yeah, but I think she was behind in those, because they did a debate. I think, didn't they do a debate? And they said she didn't do good, and so I don't know. it's hard to cite polls because I don't know if we can trust the polls, but I don't know if she's really leading in any polls there in that district. But maybe someone could, educate me on that. WW says Caesar's Palace Bar. Yeah, I don't go there. I haven't gone to the Caesar's Palace Bar. Apparently, that's where hookers go and they flash their clear purses with how much money they want to have sex with them. Apparently, so now you know my favorite new bar is Caesar's Palace Bar. No. Says Mustang Ranch is a thing. It's still a thing. Okay, so Mustang Ranch, is that the one in Texas? Because the one here, I think, is the Chicken Ranch. The one that's in Pahrump. But I get my ranches mixed up. I get my whole houses mixed up. You know what I'm talking about? Kevin Anderson says, I'm a mod in Midas Touch. I'm not getting on her bad side. Wait a minute. Whose bad side? I'm a mod in Midas Touch. I'm not getting on her bad side? Who's the her that we're talking about? Yeah, like I say, sometimes I'm slow on the uptake because I read the chat or I skip and I don't know who you're referencing. Bonnie Thompson says Skinwalker Ranch is still a thing. Skinwalker Ranch? I don't even know what that is. Karen Bass says that could be it. Ask Bonnie Thompson, true dat. WW says, are we still on? Looks like we're on. It might be getting, hopefully it's not getting glitchy. It says there's an unstable network connection. That's not good. WW says, because the farmers paid for services and chickens. Oh, that's how they get those names. Going back to the old days when you could get a little nookie for a chicken or two. Probably a chicken under each arm. You'd go walking in there. Hello, ladies. I got my... I'm not going to say what I was just about to say. Because it kind of didn't make sense. Jeff Curry says, there ain't been a good musical about a whorehouse since Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. That's right. And I've already referenced that. Big Hook says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That is a definition I've heard many times. David A says, what are the chances House and Senate go blue? Are you asking me? Are you asking me? Okay, so I don't know what the chances are. I think we're going to keep the Senate, although people are saying that it's not so easy as it sounds, or it's not so clear cut. So I think hopefully the Democrats will really take that to heart and put some money in those races that need to be put into, because we need to keep the Senate. I think we have a pretty good chance of getting the House back. I really do. I mean, we're only a few seats short now. And with November coming up, I think we can, if we overwhelm the ballot boxes, hopefully we can, because the House, it's gerrymandering that really screws us up there, I think, right? So I think with November, though, I think we can get the seats that we need to get the House back. So I think we have a pretty good shot at getting the House. I think we have a pretty good shot at keeping the Senate, but we can't get complacent, at all. And we need to make sure we all vote. Make sure you're registered. Go to vote.org or whatever it is. Find out. Make sure you're registered. Get registered. Vote in that. And if your primary hasn't come around, you're going to vote in primary. Certainly when the general's here, vote for Dems. Vote blue if you know what's good for you. And but I think I do think we have a good chance of keeping the Senate and of winning the House back, and of course keeping the White House. I think we have better than 50% chance of doing that, of doing all three of those things. So that's just my little 2 cents worth. So we'll see, but make sure you guys vote. Kevin Anderson says wishful thinking. Maybe booby, but that will have to be in the primary. What the fuck do you think I was talking about? Kevin Anderson said, but I was talking about her losing, that she's behind in the polls to other Republicans in her district. Of course, that's a primary. Kevin Anderson says, but I will say this, Jolie, I have to put up with porn antics like you in my other groups on Facebook. Like you? Oh, like you, as you do. Okay. Oh, and was the her Jolie, I guess. I'm trying to piece it all together. Like I said, I'm slow, but eventually I'll get it. Sayal says, Best Western played dime roulette all night long, free drinks. So, Best Western Hotel? Sometimes when people just do these run-ons, I have to figure it out. Are you talking about like a Best Western Hotel in Vegas? And you can play dime roulette all night long? And you get free drinks. Okay, keep that in mind, folks. WW says Imperial Palace, which is no longer around. Bar on the street 20 years ago. Yeah, the Imperial Palace, which I stayed at several times, is no longer in existence. I think that's where the link is now or something. I don't know. Ash says Mustang Ranch is a brothel in Story County, Nevada, about 20 miles east of Reno. Oh, that's the Mustang Ranch. Oh, that's right. I used to pass by that ranch all the time on I-80, right? Is that I-80? Yeah, I-80. And I even stopped in there because they have a huge, big parking lot. And I parked my truck there. And this is honest God truth. I never went inside. Just so you know. Not because I'm some goody two-shoes or whatever. I just never went inside. And you can take that, but I have parked in their parking lot. Just because I needed a place to park. And I thought, oh, I'll go park there. There's a nice big giant lot here. Kevin Anderson says, like you, I get rid of them. Hee hee. Hee hee. I guess he's talking to Jolie, though. Kevin Anderson says, hi, see how. Jolie says, what empty shows do you moderate? Kevin Anderson. Jeff Curry says, why did the pervert cross the road? His pecker was stuck in the chicken. Huh. That is pretty perverted. Kevin Anderson says, oh, the original Mea Culpa, etc. That is the Michael Cohen one? Mea Culpa? I think I was watching some of that earlier today. I think before Hal came on, he had another attorney on there. WW says, of course, the misogynist in me thinks that all the ladies with short skirts, high heels, and makeup are out to get something. Yeah, they're just out to have fun. Kevin Anderson says, basically a lot. WW says, laughing out loud, Jeff Curry. Big Hook says, I think my chats are going missing. I see some on my feed, but missed by John. Well, I do have it on all chats, just so you know. And like I said, sometimes I skip down because I'm behind and I'm trying to get caught up. So I may have missed some of your chats. And if I did, I apologize. But, you know, sometimes I gotta move ahead. Otherwise, I'll just, you know, I mean, I guess I could just always be behind and then never get caught up. I mean, I've seen some people do that. Some people's chats who read chats, they'll just read them and then they'll end the show and they still have a million chats they didn't read, but they're just like, well, that's how far I got and that's it. So I guess I could do it that way, but I don't know. I like to skip down, I guess. You know, I like to get caught up. So hopefully if I miss something really vital, you can just repost it or whatever. Sayal says, Big Hook, a man can spend his life trying to teach a fish to climb a tree, and the fish will spend his life thinking the man is stupid. A.E. Albert Einstein, I guess, said that. Kevin Anderson said, heck, I even modded the Soto last night. Oh, there you go. WW says, Big Hook, he's skipping a lot. Might be a bit of censorship. I don't see you saying anything bad. Yeah, we're censoring you out, Big Hook. We've been censoring you because you are just saying some awful things. We're not censoring. There's no censoring here. Other than you would get removed if you said something really heinous, like a hate crime type of thing. like a hate speech thing. That would get your comment removed. We don't tolerate hate speech here, unless I say it inadvertently. Then that's different. Let's see. WW says, I wrote that long before you read it. Yeah, I am behind in the chat, as you well know. WW, wow. WW, there were hookers at the My Hotel in Miami. Is that the name of it? The My Hotel? Sometimes they should have a hotel called the My Hotel. If I ever win the Super Lottery, I'm going to make a hotel and I'm going to call it the My. Just in honor of WW. Sometimes they ask if you want to buy them a drink. Those aren't hookers. Those are just women that are extremely taken aback by your handsome good looks. Don't you know? That's what's going on there. Come on, don't sell yourself short, W. Big Hook says, anyway, ciao for now. This hoser has to work in a few hours. Enjoy yourself. Hey there, you hoser. Take off. Thank you for being here, Big Hook. Always good to see you. And we'll see you on the next one, which should be Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Alrighty. I hope you come back. Hey, we are at 59 likes. One more, we get to 60. And when you get to 60, you poop out Lucky Charms. I said it, so I have to say it again. I can't renege on that deal. Bonnie Thompson says there's a couple unstable people here. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure about that. Ask says, I love Mia Culpa Blue with Michael. I watched it occasionally. I watched it this morning, I think. I don't know if it was live or... I don't think it was live. I think it was just a... was it a replay or something? Jeff Curry says, Bonnie, thank you. WW says, Seha, there is an old saying similar to that, which goes a little something like this. Asking people to do impossible makes them feel inferior. Well, there you go. Kevin Anderson says, Seha, what's he trying to say? There is just because we don't understand what other animals, this is a run-on, other animals do, you don't need to judge and teach them. Theme. I don't know, did I miss Seha? Oh, there's Seha. Oh, that was about the saying. So we're gonna go on about that, huh? We're gonna go off about that, are we? Kevin Anderson says they probably do it their own way. I did it my way. Karen Bass says, I've forgotten where I heard this, but you can teach a monkey how to ride a bike, but why? Yeah, why? Next thing you know, they're going to be, shooting guns and taking over the world like Planet of the Apes. I was a gorilla in Planet of the Apes, by the way. The 2001 version. I was one of the gorillas. Let's see here. WW says, something got erased, my hotel's bar. Oh, so if I have a hotel, I couldn't call it my hotel. Just the bar, or you call it my hotel's bar. Karen Bass, ride. WW says, very thirsty. I am very thirsty, and I'm already halfway done with this water. But it's so cold and good and refreshing. Love my bottled water. Take that, fucking, what was that guy's name? Slinky Valdemar? Dinky Hole? I don't know. What am I'm blathering. Bonnie Thompson says, I got a nerd joke. Why can't you trust atoms? They make up everything. There you go. If ever there was a drum sting needed, it was then. WW on screen. Okay, on screen. Kevin Anderson says, mine is better now. You're what? WW says, you can't teach a fish to do anything out of water but die. And I don't think you even have to teach that. I think it just happens. It's not something that has to be taught. Kind of like breathing. I don't have to, you don't have to be taught to breathe. Ash says, I saw all the Planet of the Apes original movies in one sitting marathon. Oh, nice. There is a new Planet of the Apes coming soon. Yes, I've seen the trailer for it, and I'm just a sucker for anything Planet of the Apes. I've always loved Planet of the Apes. I love the original series. I love the one that I was in, the 2001 one. A lot of people hate it, but I still love it because I was in it. So and then the ones that came after that, they're more CGI monkeys. They didn't even use. I mean, they used real people to do those suits, that they do, so they could build the CGI up around it. Andy Serkis and all that stuff. But I saw the new trailer, and I'm there. I'm going to go watch it as soon as it comes out. Kevin Anderson says, you can drag a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That is an old saying, maybe a bit of a derivation, because I think the actual saying is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. David A says, bye-bye, folks. Well, bye-bye. I'm glad you were here. We do appreciate your time that you spent here. Your time is very valuable, so I appreciate you spending it here. If you want to spend a little more, you can like, subscribe, share, and you can super chat, and you can get a membership and all that good stuff. So, but hey, David A, thanks so much for being here. I hope you come back. Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. is the next show, the next scheduled show. Unless I do an impromptu. You never know. I might do an impromptu every now and then. I haven't done an impromptu in quite a while, actually. But, yeah, I hope you come back. www says, if you want to meet girls, you can tell the ones who are staying at the hotel. They dress normally. Some of the girls might have come from a wedding or something. Yes, they may have. Those are the ones you want to get, because they're like, woohoo! There's just something about weddings. I don't know. Jeff Curry says, it's taking everything I have to hold back gross jokes. Well, I appreciate that, and I think the rest of the chat appreciates that. I don't know. Maybe you guys want to hear gross jokes. I don't know. David A says, S? Okay, well, S to you too. S right back at you. Bonnie Thompson says, bye, David. And David A, sorry, I thought I stay. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna be on for about another 10 minutes. We'll hit the 2-hour mark. We only got about another 10 minutes if you guys want to stick around for 10 more minutes. And WW says, I saw that ask. What did you see? Now I got to scroll back because I don't remember what ask said. Oh, about Planet of the Apes. Oh, yeah. WW says, it's cool how they CGI their lips. You mean like this? I am a monkey. I don't know. Jolie says, Silly Wonka at Trucker John. Oh, Silly Wonka. Yeah, that was the fucking thing. I couldn't remember that asshole's name. WW says, if the horse isn't thirsty, don't drag him. I added that last part, by the way. Ask says, 1968 film adaptation. Someday I will learn how to read. And I'm learning, I'm trying. Someday I will. It says 1968 film adaptation. Planet of the Apes was the first film. Yes. I love the TV show too with Galen. I remember the TV show. I loved all that shit. But yeah, I saw the very first one at the Big Bear Drive-In Theater with my parents. We went to the Big Bear Drive-In Theater. We saw Planet of the Apes. And I loved it. Jolie says, Trucker John, now has channel memberships, super chats, so you can also support the show by liking, subscribing, sharing, or buying me a coffee. Thanks, Jolie, for putting that in there. WW says, they are already a little tipsy. Oh, yes, at the weddings and all that kind of stuff. Coming out of the reception, they get They're a little loosey-goosey. They're like, ooh. Then they see W at the bar, and they're like, ooh, who's that fine hunk of meat right there? I think I'm going to get me some of that. I'm going to go take me a little piece of that. That's what's going on, W. Don't you doubt it for 1 second. WW says, I like gross jokes. Or is it, I like gross jokes? Because, I guess when all caps are supposed to yell, I guess. I don't know. WW says, no, the new ones are making you look like they are really talking. They are really talking. Kevin Anderson says, WW, the moral is don't do that or you're getting horseshoe marks on your leg, laughing out loud. Oh, if you drag them. You should lead them, but not drag them. Be a leader, not a dragger. I think that's the moral of the story. Be a leader, not a dragger. I think I'm going to put that on a coffee cup. Guys, that might be a new Trucker Johnism. Thanks to Kevin, Kevin and W for this conversation. I think that's going to be on a coffee cup. Be a leader, not a dragger. I like that one. I better write that down because I had some other truckerisms that I have had made up over the years and I can't remember them. Because I was thinking about putting those on coffee cups or t-shirts or something. If you guys can remember my old truckerisms that I've said over the years, for some of you long watching faithful fans that might remember, if you remember my old truckerisms, put them in the chat and maybe I'll make a t-shirt or a coffee cup. Anyhow, I think that'd be a good one. Be a leader, not a dragger. Is that what I just said? Let's see here. Jeff Curry says, my horse liked milkshakes. She would drink through a straw. What a silly horse. Did you say that to your horse? Oh, you're such a silly little horse. You're like, rubbing her snout or whatever, and she's drinking out of the straw, and you're like, oh, you're just a silly little horse, aren't you? Sehal says, gross jokes. What's gross? Throw your pants to the wall and they stick? What's grosser than that? They slide down. But I think I probably needed a drum sting in that. WW says, wow, Jeff, I'd like to see that. Yeah, make a video. Unless you don't have that horse anymore. That might have been something that was years and years ago, and the poor little horse might not be with us any longer. Jeff Curry says, Sehal, what grosser than that? They crawl back up. That would be gross and scary, by the way. Kevin Anderson says, Jeff, you should have said no. Mine. Oh yeah, to the straw sipping horse. Jeff Curry says, Wes, I'd wipe off the straw and drink too. Oh, there you go. That's love. Well, even if you really wanted to show your love, you wouldn't wipe the straw off. So I'm going to say maybe you didn't love that horse. If you really loved the horse, you wouldn't have wiped off one little bit of the saliva. You would have just slurped away. WW says that is pretty gross. Sayha says, love it loud at Jeff Curry. I was expecting that, LOL. Well, there you go. I was expecting that. I don't think, I read that wrong. Anyhow, WW says, of course you did. I come from a place where people kiss their horses. Who doesn't kiss their horse? Come on. If I had a horse, I'd kiss it. Kevin Anderson says, hey, WW, we started a trend. Yeah, you guys are trendsetters. Trendsetters here in the Trucker John thing here. Hey, dudes. We got over 60. We're at 61 thumbs up, so you guys are awesome. So now you will be shitting Lucky Charms for the rest of the day. That's just what happens. God only knows if we get to 70. I don't even know. I don't even want to think about it. Big hook, kicking and screaming. WW laughing out loud, Jeff Curry, all those little human possibilities. Ask says, remember tomorrow we spring forward. Yes, that's right. Tonight at midnight, I guess, or no, 2 a.m. I guess, or 1 a.m. I don't know. Who knows? I just go to bed. Everything's electronic now. It just all automatically does it. It's not like the old days. You had to go around the house, remember? And like your microwave clock and your VCR clock and whatever little clocks you had around that were just mechanical clocks. And you'd had to go either before you went to bed, preferably, or if you forgot, then the next day, and then you have to do it. You go, and I would go from every room, make sure there wasn't a clock, and I would just make the rounds and reset all the clocks. Now I don't have to do that because the only clocks I have is my Apple Watch, the clocks that are on my phone and my iPad, and whatever. That's it. I have a microwave. I don't even know if that has a clock on it, to tell the truth. So now it's just all done automatically. So I don't even have to worry about it. All I have to know is that tonight, when I go to bed, it'll already be springing ahead by the time I go to bed. It'll just be done. And I'm going to lose an hour of sleep, I guess, apparently. But I'll make it up for it because I'll just sleep in late tomorrow. But anyhow, yeah, thanks for that reminder. We are springing ahead. So that means it's going to be dark later. Wait, because like right now, it's the sun is still not going down until about 5:30 or 6 here. I don't even remember. So that means like 6 will be 7 now. So it's going to be. Is that what it means? It's going to be. I can't. My brain's about to explode. I can't figure it out. That's why people hate all this daylight savings time, because it makes their heads explode, and that's not good to have an exploding head. Sehal says, "How do you make a dead baby float with 2 scoops of ice cream?" Ba-da-boom. Bonnie Thompson laughing so bad. WW laughing out loud. WW, I remember those jokes. Seha. Karen Bass says, horses are awesome. I worked 20 plus years with thoroughbred horses, race horses. Kissed every one of them every day. Good for you. I'm glad that you kissed them, because how could you not kiss a horse? They're so actually, they can be kind of scary, but still. Because I think it's like whenever I've been around them and you're feeding them an apple or a carrot or something, they're always like, watch out for your fingers, they'll bite your finger right off, so that is kind of scary. WW says, hey, yeah, it's 4:20. Oh, so I'm 2 minutes behind in the chat because it's 1:22 here. So Jolie is 4:20, smiling. Jeff Curry says, what was David Bowie's last hit? Probably Heroin. Was that a joke? I'm sorry. Because I know he was dying of cancer, and he made some videos right before he died, music videos, and put them out, and they came out like I think he had it set up for them to be released or something the day he died. I watched them. They were pretty trippy and kind of sad, but kind of heroic and brave too, because here you had this guy who was, when he made those, he was just a few months or weeks or whatever from dying. And he looked very, like a guy who was dying. And he made these videos. And so it was very, I think, kind of heroic and brave and to do that. But they weren't really that great. You know what I mean? But still, it was Bowie. He seemed like an awesome dude. And maybe he did. Maybe, he was dying. Maybe he did go out that way. I don't know. I mean, I know you make jokes. That might have been just a joke, but it might have been true. I don't know. WW says, me too, watch church on TV. Me too what? Watch church on TV. Ask. I don't know what that means. Does that mean your head is exploding? Okay. I think that's what that means. I think I might be learning emoji. WW says, liver cancer. He probably got the legal stuff, Jeff Curry. But I have liver cancer. That just reminds me of the scene that I did from Heroes in America, Angels in America, where I did the Roy Cohn part, and I did it with a Southern accent for some reason, just because I was thinking of Al Pacino doing his sort of Southern accent, not when he did Roy Cohn, but when he I don't know, was it like whatever movie he did. This is what was total rookie mistake in acting, because I felt like I had to make a voice, like I couldn't use my own voice. So I was trying to make a character, and I didn't feel confident doing like a New York accent, so I did like almost like a Southern accent. So it came out really weird. But you can see it. I have a video where I did an acting class. Actually, it was a directing for the camera class that I did. It was just like 20 years ago or whatever. It wasn't like when I was a kid. It was like, what was that, late 90s, I think? Or no, that's the early 2000s, I think, when I did that. So I was in my 40s, I guess, when I did this. So it wasn't like I was a kid. But I did this acting thing, and I did that scene from Angels in America where I played Roy Cohn. And one of the lines is, I think it was like, I don't have AIDS. I think it said, did he say liver cancer? I can't remember now. I think it was, I don't have AIDS. And the guy had AIDS, but he's like, I don't have AIDS. I think he says liver cancer. And I did it with this weird kind of a Southern accent, and I regret it to this day. I wish I would have just done it. If I couldn't do like a New York kind of Brooklyn accent, then I should have just done just a straight generic accent. But for some reason, I put this little Southern twang on it. And every time I watch it, I'm just like, oh, why did I do that? Anyhow, that's Angels in America. I don't think I have it on this channel. I might have it. I might have it on this channel. On one of my playlists. I think I do. I think I have a student films playlist. I think I put it under my student films thing. If you guys want to check it out. Anyhow. We've got Jeff Curry says, I don't understand why people are scared of horses. Well, they're kind of big and strong and have big teeth. I'm going to skip down a little bit because we are at the 2-hour mark, and I said I was going to stop at 2 hours. So let me just see here. We got W says, I saw at least clips. I don't know if you're talking about my clip, your clip, whose clips. W says, when there were lots of horses, it was like having lots of cars. They were accidents. Or there were accidents. Kevin S says, I remember one of those songs, his songs, I'm Afraid of Americans with Trent Reznor. Oh, really? Well, I remember Young Americans. Young Americans, Young Americans. Woo, woo. That's my David Bowie impression. Pretty good, huh? Especially the woo, woo part, which he never, ever, ever did that. Bonnie Thompson says, have you seen a pissed off horse? I think I have. Jeff Tree says, who is more brave than a man with diarrhea and wants to fart? That is not only funny, but true. Lots of humor. The funniest ones are the truest ones, right? I'm skipping down, guys. So if I skip one of your posts here, I'm not censoring you because it's there. It's still there. I'm just not reading it because we're running late here. Big Hook says, dork, someone who sticks foot in toilet and pees down the leg so as not to make noise. Girls can't be dorks because it always runs down the wrong leg. That is kind of quite the visualization there. WW says, I rode one most of the time named Danny. He was pretty stubborn. To get him to gallop, my brother-in-law, Danny's owner, would maybe kick him in the butt or hit him in the butt. You left out a word there, so I guess hit him in the butt with a 2x4, as one does. I bet you that really set him off there. Bonnie Thompson, I like horses. Went through a horsey girl phase when I was 15. Cleaned out the stables after I rode. I'm going to go ahead and skip on down through this horse talk. And Jolie says, Trucker John, is it Angels in America scene for class? Yeah. That should be it. I don't know if we want to post that. I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing. But I just, when someone mentioned that line about liver cancer, it just reminded me of that. So I don't know if we want to do that or not, but it's just the scene I did about 20 years ago, probably. I don't know. Mish has an emoji with one of those faces. I don't know what that means. Is it like thinking, or is it like I don't know. My emoji's not good. WW says, at least Danny didn't buck. He was kind of old, more likely to try to lie down when you stopped. Say says Jeff Curry had a cutting horse that would scare the shit out of me, and he would get off on it, I swear. Probably a sadistic little bastard, wouldn't he? Karen Bass says, John must be needing a bathroom break. No, I don't really. No, I don't, actually. But it's 2 hours. I don't know. I mean, do you guys want to go longer? I mean, it's up to you. I mean, we could go, we could shoot the shit for some more time here, but I do need to probably, you know, it is almost 1:30 here. I probably need to get, you know, ready for work. I want to go do some driving. It looks like it might be a good day, a good weekend. It's been kind of busy. Lots of folks here, lots of showgirls out here on the strip. People need rides, so I'm probably going to be doing that pretty soon. Oh, pardon me. Did you guys hear that belch? I've been drinking so much water and coffee, but I don't have to pee. By the way, I do not have to pee. But I should probably, you know, end this. And I know people have things to do. I don't want to just hog up your whole day. You know, we're at 2 hours and 8 minutes. So, you know. WW says, I like that play, John and Angels. I thought I saw them all. Maybe I didn't realize what it was. It was just a scene, like it was a class where you would do scenes from plays or movies or whatever. And then we would film them. It was just a college course. It was more of a directing class than it was an acting class. So it wasn't something you would see unless you were on my channel and you saw it, you know. WW's Love It Out Loud. They do seem to have mine. Say ha. Julie says, I have the link, Trigger John. Let me know. Well, what do you think? Should we post it? I don't know. I guess we could post it, but it is kind of embarrassing, you know, because, you know, it's like, you can see why I kept my day job, you know what I mean? But if you want to see it, I guess go ahead and post it, and if you guys want to tell me what you think. But it is embarrassing. The most embarrassing thing is that I use this stupid accent, and I wish I would have just done it straight. Because I can remember the thought process was, okay, this guy's in New York. He's Roy Cohn. He probably has a New York accent, but I just didn't feel confident doing the New York accent, so I did like a Southern accent. Why would Roy Cohn have a Southern accent? It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. So that's the most embarrassing part of it for me, is that my decision to use this kind of Southern accent, and I regret it to this day. And there's no way I could redo it. I mean, I could redo it. I could do it. We could reshoot the scene. But, you know, as far as that scene's done. I can't change that. So that's the thing. But if you want to post that, yeah, go ahead. I mean, you know, people want to check it out. It's from me. I think that was from 2004 or something. What year was that? I'm trying to remember what year I took that class. I think it might have been 2006. So it wasn't 20 years ago. It was like, 18 years ago or something? Because it was pretty much 20 years. I forget the exact year when I took that class. Because I remember I had more time at home. I'd been doing just a lot of more local work and truck driving, and where I had more time off, time at home. I think it might have been during that period. I think. Like 2004, 2005, maybe? Shit, I don't even know. It might be in the description of the video what the year was. But anyway, if you guys want to check it out, you can check it out. I guess Jolie posted it, yeah. So if you guys want to check that out, you can see me from somewhere between 15 to 18 years ago doing Roy Cohn in Angels of America, just the scene, not the whole play, using a Southern accent for a Brooklyn guy or whatever. I don't know if he was from Brooklyn, but from wherever he was from, New York somewhere. And the hilarity will ensue. Let's see here. WW says, maybe you could get a passenger showgirl to take a photo with you as a tip. I've never had a passenger showgirl. So, and it might be inappropriate. So I try to be as appropriate as possible. And professional, okay? I keep it professional. Jeff Curry says race is getting a start. What race is it? Is it a NASCAR race? Says Jeff Curry, oh no, horsepower allowed. No horsepower allowed. Oh, it's a restricted race? Big Hook says Elephant Sex Oregon is his foot because if it steps on you, you're fucked. Boom. W says we used to do stuff like that too, short musical scenes. I never did a musical scene. Bonnie Thompson says it'd be great if so-called horse sports were abolished. Really? Like horse racing? Is that inhumane? There is a lot of horses that end up getting, well, they used to shoot them in the head. I don't know if they euthanize them, how they do it now, but yeah, because they break a leg and they're like, I got to shoot in the head now. So yeah, there's that. That's pretty inhumane. I mean, not the fact that they're shooting, the most humane part might be shooting them in the head or whatever after they, broken their leg, but to have them be in the sports where they're breaking their legs, because once a horse breaks his leg, I guess it's pretty hard to set it or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about it, but what about steeplechase? Or what's those things where they jump over, they have that thing when they jump over hedges and over jumps and stuff? Those look kind of cool, but WW says never recorded it. Thank God for lack of tech. I would be so embarrassed. Oh, there's the link. There's that link. If you guys want to check it out. WW says every time I make a video, I am a little bit embarrassed. Yeah, it's kind of because you see, especially when you see the mistakes. Like if you're doing a scene or whatever, and you're like, oh God, why did I do that? But anyhow. Jolie says, well, it's out there now. Yeah, it is. Bonnie Thompson says, dude, you should be at West. Dude, you should be. Oh, you should be embarrassed. A little bit embarrassed. Kidding. WW says, thanks, Jolie. W says, I'm hiding, Bonnie. I have been stirring up trouble. As you're wont to do. Jolie says, video was made in 2004. Okay, so that was probably the same year, I guess. I wonder, yeah. 2004, really? Wow. So probably was that same year, 2004. So I'm just trying to think of maybe if that was 2003 and maybe I didn't put it out 2004, but no, whatever. So it's been at least 20 years, yeah. So that's 20 years ago. Man, time flies, isn't it? When we're having so much fun, I guess. Asked, Roy was from the Bronx, so I didn't do a Bronx accent. But I gave him like this little Southern accent, which is hilarious and stupid and embarrassing. But whatever. Jeff Curry says NASCAR, yes. And it might be a restricted race because there's no horsepower allowed. WW says the tracks are designed for speed, not safety. Now, are we talking about the horse racing or NASCAR or both? Big Hook says Lippenzoner white horses from Portugal? I don't know. WW says I thought they were from Vienna, not Portugal apparently. I saw them in Vienna a long time ago. Must have been touring, as they are wont to do. Have you guys seen those Clydesdales, those Budweiser Clydesdales, huh? Sayal says, Big Hook, when they are born, they are black. Wow. And then they turn white. Jolie says, made in 2004, posted 2007. Oh, okay. Wow. Jolie doing some research. Okay, so I guess we did that scene in 2004. And then 3 years later, I decided to post it. It took me 3 years to get enough nerve. No, I don't know. But so I posted it in 2007. But it was in 2004 when I took that class. Because I was taking some classes. And I made that scene. I'm trying to think what I did. Oh, and then that's when I made my scene was a scene from
what was that called? I can't remember the name of it. And I wish I don't know why I chose that scene. I wish I had chose a different scene because it was very difficult. This was a directing class where I think the class only met, was it once a week or twice a week? So it was a long class. I think it was like a 3-hour class, but I think it only met once a week. Or maybe it was twice. I can't remember if it was like Tuesdays and Thursdays or if it was just Thursdays. And so you would have, the class is 3 hours, but then the teacher, this pisses me off because you're supposed to film a scene. So, and everybody in the class gets a position, like you'll have a director, and then everybody would rotate for each different student's project. So one project, you would be an actor. That's why I did the acting one in the Angels of America. And then for somebody else's, you could be the director, or you might be the cameraman on the other one. Or another one, you'd be a lighting guy. And the other one, you'd be the sound guy. Another one, you'd be a set director. And another one, you would be, I don't know, background extra or whatever. So, I mean, so for each scene, you would be some part of that. You would have experienced being some part of either the cast or the crew, you know, either behind the scenes or in front of the camera. So it was kind of a cool class. So for me, for my acting one, it was the Angels in America. For when I was director, I did, I can't remember the name of it now. God. Anyhow, I did one, but by the time, so when it's your turn, the teacher, he takes forever. Like he'll do roll call, you know, whatever, and then he does like a lecture where he does something like taking a sweet ass time. So then by the time he says, okay, now we're gonna do your thing, you've got maybe an hour out of this 3-hour class. You've got like an hour to set up your scene, get everything set, and then if you need to do, you know, more than one take, forget about it. It almost like I got maybe 2 takes, or, you know, I couldn't do takes because I was running out of time. By the time you do 2 takes, then there's like 10 minutes left in the class, you know, and so you're trying to get finished up. So it really kind of sucked because I was mad at the teacher. He should have just, I think, once we already did stuff out of the book earlier in the semester, we already did a lot of stuff. So then once we were starting to do these scenes, instead of taking like 2 hours before we did it, I think he should have just started us right away and let us have the whole time, or almost the whole time, to do the scenes. But so that was the one thing I didn't like about that class. But other than that, it was a fun class. So I did one as a director where I was, God, I can't even remember the scene. It was like, I don't know. I don't know why I can't remember it. But I did, so I wasn't in it, but I had these 2 guys. But I kind of like where I put like slow-mo into it, and I did, and I had like a blood packet because one of the guys gets stabbed, and I made a little blood packet. So I was kind of proud of that. You know, I put these little effects in, practical effects, you know. So I did that, and then what else did I do in that class? Well, I guess that's the only thing that I actually saved, because in all the other things, you know, I was like a director, and I was like a camera guy for one, and all this kind of stuff. But it was a fun class. Kevin Dennis says Jolie is awesome. Yes, she is. Absolutely. WW says Lippizaners are in Miami for the winter. They are touring this summer, but they come from Vienna originally. Jeff Curry says my horse would also like would also, I think, lick my face. Have like just huge mouths and tongues and lots of saliva, lots of teeth that I'm scared of. Ask says the Lipizzaner horse is one of the oldest breeds in Europe. The breed got its start in 1580 near the Adriatic Sea in modern day Slovenia. Wow, thanks for that. Ask. WW, did you memorize? I did. My lines, of course. Of course I memorized my lines. We didn't have cue cards or whatever. You know, you had to memorize your lines. We rehearsed and everything. We did lots of rehearsals. You know, on our own, we'd go off like during the week and rehearse and stuff. Big Hook, Big Hook. I think the story was the Nazis were going to kill them for meat to have a meeting. No, but they convinced them to spare them as entertaining the Führer. Yeah, those fucking Nazis. Kevin Asher said, the one I rode, Cheryl, she always whinnied at me. And you know what that means. Kevin Asher says, you can't ride miniature horses. Because they're just too little and they would break their little backs. WW says, I have recordings of my junior and senior recitals. Well, there you go. Bet you those are fun to watch. Jeff Curry says, son just went to Career Center to talk to students about working in video. Showed them the ads he shot that aired during the Super Bowl. Oh. Pretty awesome. That's got to be awesome, right? WW says, I never got cozy with a horse. I used to give them apples before I was getting ready to ride them. Yeah, you want to kind of butter them up a little bit. Probably a good idea. I think that's probably a good idea. That's probably a good idea, Jenny. I do know what love is, Jenny. I don't know. Anywho, yeah, I didn't know that, Jeff, about your son. That's pretty cool. I did not know that. All right, guys. I think I might be running out of steam. Jolie says there's a video of me floating around my parents' house somewhere of my piano recital when I was about 10. All the other kids played piano classics. I played the theme to Star Wars. Well, that's pretty cool. You know, you're an original. You're not going to just do what everybody else is doing. You know, you march to your own drummer. Jeff Curry says, then he showed them a music video he directed, and he told me not to leak it. Don't leak it. Oh, the suspense is killing me. But that's pretty cool. That sounds pretty awesome, Jeff. That's some big time stuff right there. Okay, guys. Anyhow, I think I am running out of steam here a little bit, so I think I'm probably gonna bid you adieu. And I do appreciate you all being here and doing the cool down. I hope you guys cooled down. I hope we cooled things down, you know, because as I always say, you got to cool down because otherwise it might pull a hammy. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thought it was about time that I show everyone my real, true self. Trucker John is a monkey.
There's a taco cat on the dashboard. Hey, it's me again. Ahoy, mateys.